about innocent people being killed. Why didn't you say anything when 1,200 people were massacred to death in the most brutal, barbaric manner in this awful terror attack by Hamas, and nearly 7,000 more were wounded, some of them catastrophically and irreparably? Why did that not compel you to say anything?
Well, first and foremost, Israel's a foreign country, so typically I talk about topics that have to do with America. Secondly, you're only quoting my Twitter feed. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. I also had a daily podcast in which I did respond directly about what happened and called the events horrific. Multiple times, said what Hamas did was absolutely horrific. So you're using a snapshot of my Twitter feed where you're acknowledging that I didn't tweet for days to suggest that I didn't have anything to say about what had happened. Now, to be clear, I am consistent on all matters. I do not want America involved whatsoever in anything that is happening in Israel. I don't want my dollars sent over to Israel. We should not be supporting Israel. Obviously, Thomas Massie has done a lot of work showing how it doesn't even make economic sense that we have so much debt and yet we're sending money over to support Israel. And the biggest issue, by the way, that I have with Israel in talking about them being above reproach is the fact that they are supplying the arms to murder Christians. Okay?
I dislike Candice Owens very much. She's a bit of a chameleon. Now let's talk about Candice Owens, right? And this whole Israel thing. And how they're going after her. She got fired from one of her gigs or whatever at Daily Wire and run by a bunch of Jews or whatever. So now she's on Piers Morgan. They want to know why she got fired, why she doesn't support Israel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Which is, I hate to agree with her, but she's correct. Israel is a foreign country, right? In any other case, it'd be treason to support a foreign country over your own country. But in the case of Israel, they can literally take bribes out in the open. And then they'll blame China or Russia for interfering in U.S. elections. It makes no sense. Like, they literally take bribes in front of cameras from a foreign country, from the Israeli operatives in AIPAC and whatnot, in front of the cameras. And it's condoned. But then they come on and ask people like Kent, why don't you support Israel, blah, 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 blah. And she made a good point. Israel's a foreign country. And they literally get away with murder when it comes to them. And they also an apartheid state. But one thing, what strikes me most about this whole thing with Candace Owens is, why did everybody had to apologize, right? Kanye West had to apologize. Nick Cannon had to apologize. Kyrie Irving had to apologize. And the list goes on. And they all did it, right? Let's jump over there real quick, Stan. So this is an article from Sports Illustrated. Kyrie Irving opens up a new apology about his so-called anti-Semitic post. This is how even though he didn't say anything, he just posted a clip. He just posted a picture of a screenshot of a documentary. And then they said it was an anti-Semitic post. But anyway, so he has to apologize. Everybody apologized, right? I want to make this point. All of the men, particularly black men, all the black men apologized. Kyrie Irving, Nick Cannon, and the list goes on, right? The list goes on and on, right? Anytime they say, whoever you want to name, they apologize, right? And they took all this stuff from them and they had to apologize. Now, how come Candace Owens is not apologizing? Where is the Candace Owens apology? Right? And the question would be, how come black men all apologize, they tuck their balls and their penis up into their anus area, put on a dress and then apologize, like the bitches that they are, right? But then the woman came out viciously defending herself saying I did nothing wrong, I'm not going to apologize. Matter of fact, I'm gonna double down and I'm gonna go in on the Israelis as supporting, genocide, being anti-Christian, and she goes on further to say we shouldn't even be funding Israel. So she flames Israel, right? On seeing on TV, on the news, and refuses to apologize and says I did nothing. I'm not anti-Semitic, and I did nothing to apologize for. But all of the black men, Nick Cannon, Kanye West, on and on and on, right? Kyrie Irving, they're running around apologizing, but they won't speak the truth. What does that say about black men in America? Now you can rewind the tape. What does that say about black men in America? Do I need to say it? Anytime a woman can stand up for herself, but you can't. And particularly Candice Owens. Now they're gonna get Candice Owens. Don't worry about that. But Candice Owens did the right thing, and I hate to agree with Candice Owens, right? Because she's a horrible person. But from a strategy standpoint, she did the right thing. Why? Because she knew that even if she apologized, they were still going to come for her, which they are. So her best bet was to come out with guns blazing and to go ahead and, point out the obvious about them. They support genocide, they support apartheid, they're racist, they're anti-Christian, America shouldn't be funding them, they're a foreign country. All of these things are true. So she said, well, fuck it. I can't go back. There's no use of apologizing because they're still going to flame me. I might as well come out with all guns blazing and tell the truth that people like Kyrie Irving and Nick Cannon and Kanye West and everybody else should have told. And they should have came together in one voice against these people and against their blackmail and their bullying and, basically, their racist anti-black behavior, their genocidal apartheid-like behavior, their Jim Crow tactics, right? Instead of the black people coming out the same way they do against people. Oh, this is anti-Semitic, and that's not even what the word means. But they make up shit. Even the guy said it when Candice interviewed the rabbi. He said anti-Semitic means whatever we want it to mean on any given day. I mean, this is the insanity of these white Euro Jew Nazis that you're dealing with. Like, it makes no sense. They tell you that words change depending on the day and their feelings. That's not how the dictionary works. I don't know if y'all know that. I don't know that if you so fucking crazy in America that you don't know that the dictionary doesn't work that way. But see, when you live in America, you become insane in America. You're surrounded by white people that come out with small hats on that tell you that words change depending on how their feelings in the day. And the laws change depending on their feelings, right? And you don't realize this is goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Revelations 2 and 9, right? Somebody got the balls and the gall to stand up in your face on TV and tell you that words can mean whatever they want on any given day, depending on their feelings, and you don't flinch. That doesn't bother you. That doesn't disturb you. It doesn't concern you, worry you. You just go along with it. Particularly black men, right? Black men are fucking disgusting. Coming from a black man, I know it's harsh, but black men are disgusting, right? Anytime you let Candice Owens outdo you, anytime Candice Owens is stronger than you, stronger than Kyrie Irving. Candace Owens is stronger than Kanye West. Candace Owens is stronger than Nick Cannon, etc. Wow. What does that say about black men in America? Right? All they want to do, I saw a video, some black men talking about, we looking for snow bunnies, the best place to go to travel to meet a snow bunny. They just running around looking for white women. I mean, insane, right? They just running around looking for white women and, you know, trying to toe the line, go along to get along. Where's the white women's is at? Hey, is any white women around here? Hey, man, where can I find some white women at? I mean, that's the best you got. And then Candace Owens makes you look bad, makes you look weak. Cause I would want to ask Kyrie Irving, how come she didn't apologize but you did? That I just want to ask. I mean, you run up and down the court, you 6'5", you know, 200 pounds or whatever. You supposed to be this strong black man. Well, how come this obviously black bootleg female chameleon, one day she's from the Caribbean, the next day she a descendant of slaves from America, right? Next day she turning on black people, talking about black people don't deserve reparations. The next day she talking about genocide and apartheid on Gaza, Arabs, but fuck black people in America. I mean, this woman is a chameleon, and you know, she is what she. I mean, I could come up with many derogatory names for her, but it's obviously what she is. This bootleg crazy woman, right? But I would want to ask somebody like a Kyrie Irving and a Nick Cannon. Y'all, you know, running around impregnating all these weirdo Instagram whores and shit, right? And apologizing to these people. How come she didn't apologize, but you did, Nick Cannon? How come you didn't wildin' out? How come you didn't wild out? You got a show called Wildin' Out. How come you ain't wild out on these racist Nazi Zio-Nazis when they ran up on you, son? Cause she wild out on them, Nick Cannon. But you not wilding out. You licking boot. You got mud on your tongue and your lips. You lick so much boot. You lick so much Nazi boot, right? You got mud all over your tongue and your lips. And your nose got a little brown on your nose. I'm just saying, explain yourself. How come she's spitting fire at these racist Nazis, but you bootlicking them and apologizing, Kyrie Irving? And you tuck your penis and your balls into your anal parts, nether regions, and put on a dress and started apologizing to people for no reason, other than you a coward. How come she's less of a coward than these black men? I'm not gonna belabor the point. But you know what? There's a reckoning coming. Right? Like you told me back, there's a reckoning coming, Mr. Wayne. There's a reckoning coming. Right? Because the scales are out of balance. Anytime a bootleg black woman can fight back, push back on people, but a bunch of black men can't. And these black men are supposed to be the alpha males in your community. So the alpha males in your community, Kyrie Irving, Nick Cannon, Kanye West, all coward, but a black Caribbean bootleg, one female, she stood up for herself. Right? She stood up for herself and pushed back on these people. But all these black alpha males, so-called, they apologized and ran away and put a dress on and ran away. Explain that. They ran away and was like, yeah, where the white women at? Any white women around here? I got a passport, bro, and I'm looking for some white women or some Asian women or something. That's why y'all running around all over the world, and you running here, you running there, you cowering on your jobs, cause you weak and passive, and you've been destroyed in America. I told you that. Go back and look at the tape. The Negro has been destroyed in America. There's nothing left but judgment. That's why the Bible said, I'm going to destroy 2/3 of you Negroes. And judgment starts at the house of the Lord. You see? The white man and the white Jew is not the house of the Lord of hosts. The Negro is. The so-called Negro is. You see? Some of these dark-skinned people with the house, the judgment starts there. You're going to be destroyed. Why? Because you already destroyed. And you don't even know it. You don't even have the self-awareness to understand when you've been fucked. You don't even have the self-awareness to say, oh yeah, I'm fucked up. Like me, I'm fucked up, but at least I know it, right? Like I don't try to hide it. I embrace it. That's what makes me a holy man. You see? I embrace the good and the bad. I don't try to hide it. I'm not gonna apologize to anybody and stuff like that for no reason. I'll flame you first rather than apologize to you. And we just do what we do. We get it on sight. You know what I mean? But the Negro is finished in America. And this is a glaring example why. I said it once, I'm going to say it again. Negroes not going to make it out of America. Most of y'all not. They tell me, oh, go back to Africa. Oh, I'm going to be a passport bro. Oh, I'm going to go here. Well, it doesn't matter where you go. You are marked. You see, the universe has a bullseye on you. And you're going to get it first. That's why you're getting it the worst now. You see? Because the universe has delivered you up. Your karma for being what you are has delivered you up to your enemies. So they could punish you. And the Lord of hosts is going to finish your punishment. You don't see it? You don't see the warships encircling the United States? You don't see it? You don't see the lack of escalation in these wars? It's going up, 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 not down, down, down. There is no cooling off period. They calling for a truce in Gaza, in the Middle East. They calling for peace in Ukraine. Peace summit. There will be no peace. The peace time for peace over with. The Lord is a man of war. Exodus 15. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. And I quote, amen. The Lord is a man of war. He gonna wage war, right? Particularly on his own people. Anytime the men are weaker than the women. The women not apologizing, but the man is. To the enemies of God. You see, Revelations 3:9 and 2:9. The synagogue of Satan are the enemies of God, the enemies of man, not just God, but man. As is written in the book of Ezra, when he said, the adversary of men, and I quote, amen, right? He said, the Lord shall destroy the adversaries of man. These people are the adversaries of the Most High God. Some of these people are not people, you see. That's why they burn in the sun. You don't get it. You don't understand basic science. How is it that some people, it ain't that you came out of a cave, you came out of a test tube, not a cave. See, it's more to that story. I'm not going to get into it, but there's a lot more to the story. But it's basic when you think about it. When they talk about the Nephilim, you see. He mixed the seed of man with the seed of woman, the seed of the God with the seed of woman, etc., the fallen angels. You don't get it? See, the seed of the fallen angel, the seed of the one mixed with the fallen angels and the seed of man, right, is the ones that burn in the sun. You see? The synagogue of Satan. But the Negro has sworn allegiance to the synagogue of Satan. Right? He's looking for white women to mix with. That's why the Bible said in the end, he's going to separate. When the Lord of hosts comes, he's going to have to separate them. Right? You're going to have to be separated from your white women. And your white men can't, you know, I don't know if you can say Candice, Owens, but, you know, you'll have to be separated. You see? Why? Because the synagogue of Satan has to be removed from the earth, as is written in the Bible. You see? So no amount of apologizing is going to stop what's going to happen. So you might as well stop. At least she stopped apologizing. No amount of apologizing is going to save you. Either way, right? The Negro is a natural born coward, a lot of them in America. They've been made into be passive, weak, feminazis. They got more estrogen than women. Better watch that shit. You better check that shit. You better check that shit, because a feminine man ain't gonna make it in what's about to happen. You better check yourself. All that passive. You better become a supervillain like me. Fuck them. Just become a supervillain. You see, like Candice Owens, she said, no apologies, I'm just gonna go in on you. A woman got more testosterone than Kyrie Irving and Nick Cannon. What does that tell you about black men in America? That some lying, bootlick female can stand up for herself, but the example that Nick Cannon and Kyrie Irving set for black men is lay down and roll over, particularly for a check. But there's going to come a time when a check can't save you. I'm going to say this and I'm going to go, but that's a good point, which I want to make that point. A check is not going to be able to save you in the near future. Kyrie Irving, Nick Cannon. You're going to have something else called a code, called integrity, called laws, statutes, and commandments that you follow, right? It's going to be the only thing can save you. It's the only thing can save you. A check won't mean anything. You have to understand that. I used to live like that, right? I'll tell the story real quick and then I gotta go. But I used to live like that, where it was all about the Benjamins, all about money, right? And then I realized that that's how you sell your soul to the devil. That's how you lose your soul in America. When it has to come to a point where you say, listen, there is nothing you can give me, right? There's nothing you can give me. There's nothing you can offer me. There's no amount of money. There's no check. There's no, basketball contract. There's no TV contract. There's nothing you can give me. I'm going to fight you to the death. You do understand that, right? That's why the Negro is losing in America and is a loser. You've been taught not to have no code, not to follow no law, the universal laws of God, but to swear allegiance to a check and to a dollar, right? And to Louis Vuitton and Gucci. Where this is about to go, none of that can save you. And you're gonna be destroyed because you don't have no fucking foundation whatsoever. It's nothing underneath. Like he told him in Avengers when he killed Colt, he said, "You're gonna lose this fight." Loki killed him. Loki shot him. He fell. He said, "You could take me down, but you're gonna lose this fight." He said, "Why?" He said, "Cause you lack. You know why?" He said, "Cause you lack conviction." You see, you have to understand it. The nigger is gonna lose because he lacks conviction. You have nothing that you really believe in. Like Pac said, "Who do you believe in?" I believe in God, blessed is still breathing. Even though it's hard, that's who I believe in, right? See, the Negro don't believe in anything but the almighty check in America and white women. And he trying, he a passport bro. I mean, the dumbest shit I ever heard, I saw one of these passport bro niggas. They said they gonna fly to like Poland to find white women. And I'm thinking to myself, you dumbass nigger, don't you know that Poland is about to get nuked? Poland is on the Russian border. Don't you know that the Russians are flying? They just bombed today. They just bombed some shit like 10 miles from the Polish border. But you over there in Poland looking for white women to date. You gotta be the dumbest bunch of niggas ever walked the face of the earth. Seriously. I saw these passport bro, Austin Holland, all these dudes, they over there on like the Poland and they on the, border or whatever, looking for white women. And I'm thinking to myself, you niggas are brain dead. There's no way I would be in Poland right now trying to date some white women while they're about to nuke Poland. Are you stupid? Like this is the mentality of these people. Like this is how they think. And this is how the Negro thinks in America. The black male particularly, right? They really have no idea their condition, and so they just doing like super dumb shit. Right? They doing like super stupid shit. Stand by. We got a situation. Yeah, but I don't want to belabor the point, but this is it right here. Right? And then when I watch a woman come stronger than all the men, this woman, she don't apologize, but the black man everywhere apologizing, doing all kinds of weirdo shit. Right? Looking weak as he can look. But when it's come time to do some degenerate shit, he right there. They, you know what I mean? They shooting up. 9 people shot. They done did this. They done did that. You know what I mean? Doing just goofy shit. They all in on that. They apologizing to people who abused them. They apologize to racists. They shooting 9 people in the hood. They feminists. They male feminists. The black woman is God. The woman is God. They looking for white women. They doing this. I mean, any dumb shit that you could think, they doing it, right? Any stupid, degenerate, weak thing, they doing it, right? But when it come to what makes the most sense and show strength and logic and intelligence and realism, right? They don't do that. They don't do that. A woman is more Candice Owens, this bootleg sellout woman is more masculine than Kyrie Irving. And more intelligence, shows more strength and masculinity, right? And more integrity than Kyrie Irving and Nick Cannon, than men. You would think the men would be leading, right? They gonna lead. They gonna say the strong thing, right? They gonna take the whip. They gonna take the shots. They gonna like Muhammad Ali, right? No. That's why I said You've been destroyed in America. You're not even a man no more. Trust, they try to do it to me. I've seen it, how they work. It's, people are destroyed. Families are destroyed. People's minds are destroyed. Their spirit is destroyed. All they want to do is sell out in America to the devil and get a slice of the devil's pie. The devil's pie about to burn up. You're not going to be able to get no money from America. You're going to have to run for your life in America or something, right? Then what? Then what? That's what they fear, though. They fear that enough chaos comes into the system that you don't fear them and that they can't basically keep you on the teat. And once you get up off the teat, right, and they can't really, you know, spoon feed you. Excuse me. They can't spoon feed you. Then what? Right? Then what? Then what, Nick Cannon? When, let's say, I don't know, let's just, I'm gonna say that, I'm trying to wrap this, but let's just say your studio get bombed, Nick Cannon. You still gonna be running around apologizing? Let's say, I don't know, wherever Kyrie Irving played basketball at. Well, let's say that place get bombed. You still apologize, Kyrie Irving? There's nowhere to go back to. The NBA is over. Nobody's watching the NBA no more for a long time. You still gonna apologize, or you take your apology back? All that's gonna be over with for a long time, if not forever. So, do you really apologize? You take that back now, right? After you show that you don't have no integrity. Now what? Now we live in a different world. Things have changed. There is no NBA, there is no ABC News. All there is shelter in place and try not to get bombed or caught up in, you know, some riots or something. Or melee, or caught by some marauders stealing your food, you know, rioters, all kinds of shit. You still apologize? You still sorry, Kanye West, Nick Cannon, any, you know, all these Negroes? You just gonna be running around apologizing to people? There's nowhere to go now. You see, you boxed in. There's no NBA, there's nobody on TV looking for you. The electricity's out, you know, 4 hours, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Electricity's out. Now what? You got Russians launching Zircon missiles all over your cities. You still apologize? You still sorry to Jewish people? You still bootlicking white people? You still looking for white women in Romania somewhere? You still don't have a clue? Something is wrong with you, man. Something is wrong with black people in America, man. Seriously. Like, reality escapes them, but a reality check is coming. Because on the other side of this, and there is an other side coming very quickly, people gonna remember what you was doing. You see? People gonna look at you and remember the type of person you are. Whether you was running around bootlicking, apologizing, you know, doing shit like Candice Owens. People gonna remember her. She think what Candice Owens is doing is playing defense. It's not gonna stop what they're gonna do to her. You know, barring certain events, they're gonna get Candice Owens' ass. And she'll, to try to make her apologize, just like Nick Cannon and just like Kyrie Irving and the rest of them. They're gonna keep going after her. until they get something on her, some type of leverage to make her take all that shit back and apologize. But she doing right because she know that they trying to finish her off, so she figured, fuck it, she might as well come out with both guns blazing. And she's right. She is showing you how to fight them. She just telling the truth. That's how easy it is. She's showing you how to fight them. All you gotta do is tell the truth about them, and just keep telling the truth about them. But Kyrie Irving and Nick Cannon was too weak to stand on the truth. What do that tell you about black men in America? When their so-called alpha males is too weak to stand on truth and facts. Yo, I know a lot. It's a lot. You know what? That ain't foreign. That ain't only alpha males. Because ain't no all the beta males in my family. Every one of them is just like that. Every one of them I know is just like Kyrie Irving and Kanye West and Nick Cannon. They is too weak to stand on the truth and facts. Every one of them. They'll sell your ass out just like Judas. I know that about them. That's why I don't really like them. I don't like my family members. Because I know they just like that. They too weak to stand on truth and facts. And that generally, if you put some pressure on them, they'll sell your ass out. Oh, I don't fuck with him like that. I don't even talk to that nigga. I don't know the last time I seen him. Yeah, I ain't never liked him anyway. Know you all your life. Right? See you at the family reunion, everything. Oh, I never liked him anyway. This is the type of people they've turned black people into in America. They got like that rapper Sexy Red selling gonorrhea flavored lipstick. Rappers like Drake painting their fingernails. And I like Drake, you know. Sad, you know, what happened to people in America. You get destroyed. You get turned into a weirdo in America. Start off okay, and then you get turned into a weirdo. Right? Anyway, that's all I got. I'm done.